Hello, it's Qyjon The Icon here, and I have to explain this because something happened to me recently once again that showcases the power of believing deep within, right? I have many philosophies that I live by. I have many thought processes that dominate my worldview that can't be explained statistically, right? I think a lot of people operate off of similar values, similar philosophies, but they may not know it. They label it something different. However, I'm just going to get into it. So, in November, I had an art show dedicated to equity and transformation in Chicago. This art show, a lot that went into it. At the end of the day, I pulled it off, sold about 20 to 30 tickets, and donated about $700-800 to the organization. Not a lot of money, but more money than nothing, right? It was very humbling for me to actually donate that money. From that experience, I met a woman named Tycee Bell. Tycee Bell runs community cultivation in Joliet. She has an organization called Seven Mountains, where she helps strategize with businesses and she helps do many things within the community. Look her up, Tycee Bell, Community Cultivation Project, Seven Mountains. Love Tycee, have no issue with Tycee. Tycee is a great human being. I look forward to working more with Tycee in the future. But based off of my art show in November, based off of that work and the marketing I did for that, Tycee said, okay, hey, I want to do an art show in February. Let's do one in February. Can you help me with that? Now, when she asked me to help her with this art show, I truly knew what I was doing but didn't know what I was doing because I had only done art shows for myself. I then took upon that responsibility and decided to not showcase just myself but to showcase others. So I put out a blast on the internet just like, hey, I need help with this art show. I asked 12 other artists to join me, and I coordinated that, and through my efforts and through Tycee's efforts, we had 200 people show up to the Joliet Area Historical Museum. Now, that was an amazing night for me because it opened my eyes to the possibility of just sheer belief and the possibilities that come to you when you have a deep belief in what you're doing beyond what the world is showing you right now, right? I could have not done a November show because nobody was really working with me to the level I wanted. But if I didn't do the November show, then I would never have really met Tycee because there would be no proof of my genuine efforts had I not done the November show. Okay, cool, awesome. I do the February show, it goes off without a hitch. Those 200 people that came out, most of those were off the back of Tycee's community work. But a lot of that was off of the work that I had done, right? The promotion that I did, the promotion that the other artists did, the energy that we put into the show, right? That got us the 200 people that came out, which for an art show is a huge deal. They came out for that. Okay, so at this moment, I'm under the Tom Brady mind frame when it comes to the work, like the community work, the artwork, the black liberation work, whatever you want to call it. I'm under the Tom Brady Act, which is this. Tom Brady has a long story. You can look it up. It's about, what's your favorite championship or what championship are you worried about? And his answer is always the next one, right? The next one, right? It's a constant state of preparation for the next accolade or the next thing, right? Not resting on your laurels, but looking to the future. Under that act, right as the February art show with Tycee was going on, I was looking forward to Juneteenth. Now, this is where the story gets interesting to me and why I'm making a video about it. I absolutely got no support for the Juneteenth art show. And when I say no support, I mean like the venues I was trying to do it at. I got no support. Both black-owned restaurants pretty much told me no, right? One of them told me no flat out, and the other one told me no, but the basis of the no was that the village wouldn't let them have a ticketed event. So, the no's, one no was a blatant no, and that was the Tavern on LaGrange told me no, absolutely. And then the other no was from Mandy's in Bolingbrook, but it was more of like hey, the village won't let us do that. Cool. Doors got shut. And as those doors got shut, the energy between me and the other organizers, Ticey Bell, Liz LaRue, and I can't think of the other gentleman's name, but the energy kind of gets lost because when you keep hearing no, right? And this is where the faith in the world has to come into play. So me, I'm going to do a Juneteenth art show. I don't care if it's me standing in my front lawn with one art piece. I'm going to have a Juneteenth art show because I will not allow Juneteenth to be hijacked and to be used as another point where we parade around helping people of color, black people, but then we actually don't help them any other day of the year. Just like I would not allow Black History Month to just be something you skip over, right? So that's just my personal gripe. So although the energy was getting lost for good reason, I 100% understand why the energy was kind of waning for the project. I saw that Black Art House was having a Juneteenth art show. Now, Black Art House is a organization, coalition type of organization that cultivates black artists. And it actually was Black Art House that motivated me and knew that I could pool artists together because I saw how they had did it. So I did that for the February art show. But Black Art House had an art show coming up for Juneteenth called Televised Revolution. Me, on a whim, I applied for this art show, not thinking that I would get in because they work with some of the bigger artists, the bigger black artists. And lo and behold, I got in. Now, me getting into this art show is a clear depiction in my life, through my perception, through my thought processes. It's a clear depiction of the necessity of having that faith in what you believe in and faith in what you're doing, you see. Because the Creator, God, I believe, He gives you what you ask for. It just never looks like what you want it to look like. And people get caught up in appearances. They get caught up in, I call it levels of severity or levels of intensity, right? They get caught up in that. You want to start off or you want to end up being what you've seen. You know, you play football and you want to be Tom Brady. You can't just accept being a Division I coach, right? You always feel ashamed of yourself because you never got to the levels that you thought you deserved, right? But that's the human consciousness that's blocking you from seeing the blessings that are put before you. You see, the Creator said, okay, these other avenues are blocked, but you want it so bad. Okay, here's a Juneteenth art show across the country. So the Black Art House Juneteenth art show is an exhibit in Washington, D.C., which is halfway across the country, right? I had no idea that they were going to do this. I didn't know about this 8 months in advance. I applied really on a whim, not really thinking that I would get in because I'm not from Washington, D.C. My name is not recognized on a national level. But if you Google me, if you look at my profile, if you look at my website, if you look at these things, you can see that I have been doing the work. And not just doing the work, but doing the work with a genuine motivation. So that being said, I will be going to the Juneteenth art show in Washington, D.C., put on by the Black Art House. And the whole point of this video is not to brag, it's not to point out anything about me being cool or successful or anything of that matter. The point of this video is to let you know that you are the result of your thoughts. And when I say you are the results of your thoughts, I mean whatever you are thinking about, the Creator, God, the world, faith, spirituality, whatever you want to label it as, it's working on giving it to you. It just never looks the way you want it to look, right? And this is with everything, you know. If you ask for a husband, you ask for a wife, you ask for a good job, you ask for this, it just may not look the way you want it to look. Because what do you know? You don't know more than the Creator. You don't know more than the energy within the world, right? So me being a humble servant of my spirit, being a humble servant of that which I believe in, I will be going to Washington, D.C. And the money that I was going to spend to pay for a venue for an art show, a Juneteenth art show in Joliet or Bolingbrook or Chicago, that same money is now going to be the money I use to go across the country, you see. So it's a very deep thing. It's a very unique thing. It's something that you have to cultivate within yourself. But I thought that I would make this video outlining that. So if you're ever in doubt about your hopes and your dreams, I understand that, but you must get rid of that doubt and understand that the world is working in a way that is beyond your comprehension. And that means that you are not allowed to, I won't say it that way. You shouldn't allow yourself to give up, because you never know what the thing that you want looks like, or the thing that you're working for. You don't know what it looks like, because if you knew what it looked like, you probably wouldn't want it anymore, right? Because you had it, or you'd have it, right? So I'll end the video on that note. Thank you to Black Art House for making my dreams come true. I'm deeply appreciative of that. Thank you to Ticey Bell for helping me and motivating me and allowing me to see, you know what I mean, even more that my life and my dreams, my aspirations are useful and necessary. And I hope that the next time I make a video like this, I'll be talking about something even bigger, even more impactful. Because at the end of all of this, I know for a fact I'm not gonna save the entire planet. That's not the goal here. But the goal will be to lessen the suffering of as many people as possible. And I believe I can do that through art. And I believe I could do that through any type of funding I receive, putting it in the right hands with the right people with the right motivations. So I'll end on that note. Thank you for your time. It's been Qyjon The Icon, and I will talk to you again.